Thanks for stopping by. Income growth portfolio. You can see on the left, I started in May of last year, and you can see my progression. On the right is 2025. You can see what I've made so far. February is in the books, $1,495 in dividends. March, I'm guesstimating $1,578. And how am I getting to that $1,578? Let's start with the Roundhill funds, the QDTE and the XDTE. I'm guesstimating about 90 cents for the month of March for each fund with these respective share counts. And last month, QDTE paid just about 99 cents for the month. You can see my share counts versus the dividends. I made about $350 in February on QDTE. And then for XDTE in February, it made 83 cents. So I came up short about 7 cents of what I guesstimated. But again, $150 made on XDTE for February 2025. You can see the share running total to the share count and then the dividends it paid out. And so all in all, my two Roundhill funds paid about $500 for the month of February. Okay, moving on to MSTY. I'm going to guesstimate $1.50. I don't know. I'm throwing darts here, but $1.50 is what I'm guesstimating. You see, I have about 307 shares. Coney, man, it's come down a lot. Coinbase has just dropped during this past week, but I'm guesstimating about 79 cents for Coney. And then for YieldMax, I have 504 shares. I'm guesstimating about 70 cents for the month of March, and I think that's a high guesstimate, so that's my hoped 70 cents because the NAV has come down quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, down below $15. And a quick look at YieldMax of February or last month, it made 66 cents. So with this NAV coming down, it might be a challenge to get back to 70 cents for the entire month unless the market pumps again. But who knows with all the news, and you know what I mean. But it looks like I made $333 off of YieldMax in February of 2025. And so with my guesstimates, that's where I come up with the $1,578. Okay, before moving forward with the portfolio review, every Friday is a payday. February 28, 2025 was a payday. I have my 3 weekly pairs of YieldMax, XDTE, and QDTE. My monthly pair for this week is in BIDI that supports my weekly pairs. You can see YieldMax, the 504 shares, about 13 cents per share paid me that much. And if you go to the X, the Q, and BIDI, you can see those distributions right there. And BIDI, wow, $1.61. I had 100 shares, hence $161. But for this week, $358. Not bad. The YieldMax dividends or distributions and the QDTE distributions, I put those together and bought more QDTE. The XDTE that paid the $36, I just dumped back in the XDTE. The NVIDIA, this $161, and of course, minus taxes where it's appropriate, I put into MSTY, MSTY, and it picked me up about 7 or 8 more shares of MSTY. And now just a quick visual of this income portfolio. Total value, almost $41,000, $21,500 my own cash, using about $19,300 worth of margin. You can see down negative 12%. Anyways, my biggest holding QDTE about 33%. My smallest holding is NVIDIA at 4.4%. And I'll let you take a look at the rest of these guys as far as the percentage and the dollar amount. Again, I'm taxing myself approximately 30% of the distributions depending on return of capital, blah, blah, blah. And just get a little perspective on what happened in 1 week. You can see last Friday on February 21st, I was only down 6.68%, now at the 12%. And you can see the value and the cash value. I did buy about 20 more shares of MSTY. That's why my margin is up about, what, $320. All right, this is my reality screenshot. You can see we had a decent day on Friday. My portfolio was up about $750. But if we look at the total gain or loss, you can see I'm down $5,700. That correlates to that 12.31%. Now, during this down week that we had, where we got hammered, the Roundhill funds, they took it pretty well because percentage-wise, the XDTE is only down 3.89% and QDTE is down about 6%. If you look at these single stock funds, especially Coney, MSTY, and BIDI, those are the ones that are getting hammered. Coney down 32%, MSTY 23%, and NVIDIA about 14%. Now, MSTY has its ups and its downs, and I've been buying more shares because eventually, we're all hoping the MSTY is going to pump. We have to wait for Bitcoin to pump, which will pump up strategy, aka MicroStrategy, and MSTY will follow. So I have about 307 shares now of MSTY. But again, during a really hard down week, XDTE and QDTE, they kind of held their own as far as, dropping in value. They didn't drop as much as these single stock ETFs. Okay, here's a screenshot of Friday, February 28th. It was nice to finally see some green. Put a little bit more gain in what was then lost. But anyways, there it is. Screenshot of total gain or loss since I've owned each position. And you can see MSTY's down about $2,000. Coney's down 1,000. And you can see the balance of it, 32% versus 23%. And also YieldMax is kind of dragging down the account. All right, a look at each individual fund. Coney, I have 221 shares, an average cost of $14.77. Finally had a green day, up 31 cents, finishing at $9.93. MSTY, I now have 307 shares. I've brought my average cost way down, $26.31. Towards the beginning of 2025, I was close to $30 per share. So that is coming down nicely. Again, we want Bitcoin to pump up the other funds. NVIDIA, what can you say about NVIDIA? Great earnings, still goes down the market, right? Anyway, 100 shares, average cost of $21.18. A green day, up 63 cents, finished at $18.14. And then YieldMax, 504 shares. I haven't added to this since February 6th. My average cost is $17.40. A green day, up 16 cents. Finished the day at $14.92. Now the Roundhill funds, XDTE, 180 shares with an average cost of $50.37, up 46 cents for the day. That is nice. Finishing at $48.42. And then my biggest position is the QDTE from Roundhill, an average cost of $40.14 with 363 shares now, up 39 cents yesterday, finishing the day off at $37.81. Now going back to this screenshot, you can see all the funds that I own. You can see the respective dollar amounts for each fund. If I were to add up these dollar amounts, I would get $40,840. The net debit up here, that's how much margin I'm using, 19,326. So if I were to liquidate all my positions, Fidelity, my brokerage account, was going to get their $19,000 back, and I'd be left with $21,513. Folks, thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.